And the entry draft for the Premier Lacrosse League is coming up on March 16th. All 7 lacrosse clubs will participate as a means for veteran professional lacrosse players that did not play in the PLL during the 2019 season to enter the league. The draft order is determined by how the teams finished last season. And it's finally official. Rob Pannell is headed to the PLL. Pannell has spent the past 9 seasons in the MLL with the New York Lizards. He comes into the league with an elite resume. He was on the U.S. men's national team in both 2014 and 2018, earning all-world honors both times. He ranks 5th in the U.S. team history with 27 goals, 3rd in assists with 26, and 4th in points with 53. Wow. And Zach Currier, another big name expected to enter the PLL, and this guy knows how to win. In his pro career, Currier has won an NLL Cup, 2 Man Cups, an MLL Championship, and the Cockerton Cup at the World Indoor Lacrosse Championship with Team Canada. Some other namely players eligible for the PLL entry draft include defenseman Jesse Bernhardt and Jason Noble, middies TJ Comizio and Josh Hawkins, attackman Brendan Kavanaugh and Zed Williamson, and plenty more talented guys. Should be an exciting draft. Here's Evan Washburn and Tom Eschen to discuss it all.
Thanks, Sierra. Let's start with Rob Pannell with Evan now. Making the jump to the PLL. When you first saw the news, I'd imagine something you might have expected, after last season and knowing some of his contract, being expired with the Lizards as well, right?
Yeah, this felt like a fait accompli, and at some point it was going to become official, and it was made in some very well-produced fashion. So I am happy that Rob Pannell finds himself back in, however you want to best describe it, the forefront, the marquee when it comes to now lacrosse that has all the best players in the world in the PLL, and obviously the way they are projecting the sport and broadcasting nationally and investing so much time and effort into it. So it seems like the right place for him, and hopefully he's happy and being back where most fans expect him to see.
He seems like a guy that I think a transition wouldn't be that difficult, just the way his game holds up, I'd imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think his game's tailor-made for the high speed, high octane, physical nature that sport really built itself on in season 1. And look, he's going to, whatever team he finds himself on, so much of his game is his ability to feed. So chemistry is going to be key, and depending on who's working with him at the attack position, what kind of midfielders he's dealing with. But using Team USA as, I guess, a model, he works well with some of the other elite players in the world. So I have no doubt that over the course of time early in the season, he'll be able to do that as well.
Yeah, I think that experience, like you mentioned, really important here too, and maybe some guys will be playing with it in the PLL. Who knows? The whole list of the guys that are going to be in the entry draft released today. Who do you think could make that jump and be able to transition well and make an impact in the league? Because we've seen guys that have, we've seen guys that haven't.
Sure. I think Zach Currier is arguably as equally as in a big addition as Rob Pannell.
I agree.
Just his game is, really, it's built for any form of lacrosse just because he's such a talented player. But man, end-to-end action and the way that league seemed to play over the course of last summer, I can't wait to see him if he plans on being a weekly contributor. That would be awesome. Also, I really enjoyed seeing Rylan Reese grow last year with the Boston Cannons. I thought he was arguably one of the better long poles, defenders, transitional poles in the game. And he has that mini Brody Merrill traits to him. And I know that's a high comp to make, but it was just hard to ignore visually over the course of the summer, seeing what he could do. So I think that he'll transition nicely as well. Also looking at the list, you've got 2 guys that are vets that are all pros in Jesse Bernhardt and Dylan Ward. And look, the goalie position's challenging just because there's going to be so few spots, but he's the all-world goalie for Team Canada. We've seen what he's done in the World Games and for the Denver Outlaws. And Jesse's one of the better leaders the game's ever had, and still got some juice left in those legs.
Yeah, should be interesting to see where they all go and, what kind of fit they make on each team. We got to ask, obviously about the MLL, sort of where this leaves them at this point. I guess from my perspective, you're seeing sort of their philosophy. Last year, I know you lose some of these better players, but they're sort of curtailing themselves to those home markets, and it feels like that'll still be the case for the MLL.
To be honest with you, Tom, I have no idea. I mean, I really I hope. I mean, I hope that's the case. I have no understanding necessarily, and this is coming from a semi-informed place, but I don't necessarily know exactly what the league's going to look like, other than what teams have committed to this new structure and the way it's going to go. But in terms of players and the identities and how it's all going to flow, I really don't know. So. As long as there's a consistent form of communication over hopefully sooner rather than later, so that fans can start to understand, okay, I got my PLL games on Saturday and Sunday on NBC, and then maybe I can get out to a Cannons game here or a Lizards game here, and I know what players are going to be on this. I mean, the sooner the better in terms of letting us know who's playing where and for what league.
Yeah, it is.
And
March.
the PLL is doing that by giving us these names, which I appreciate.
Right, and sort of controlling that news cycle and sort of what everyone's talking about, which they've done on social media since they started for the most part. Evan, thank you so much for the perspective today. We appreciate it.
You got it, man. Always good to be with you.